Hi Sandeep.
Hi Arvind, how are you?
So stoked to have you on the podcast. Sandeep, before we get started, right? I was looking at your LinkedIn, to be honest, and you've had quite a journey, right from IBM to Samsung, Nokia, VMware, and then Broadcom now. So could you just share with me and the audience a little bit about your story?
Regarding my journey, I've been with VMware and Broadcom now, working as an engineering manager. I've worked in Bangalore in India early on my career, and moved to US. Worked in Atlanta and now in San Francisco Bay Area. Primarily, my journey has been in enterprise solutions, building enterprise platforms for customers that require primarily solutions around security, privacy, and isolation, and various aspects of enterprise requirements for scaling and so forth. Been an expert in building solutions and leading teams around that. In that journey, I've been in the mobile world, working on mobile solutions, and then cloud, providing cloud infrastructure. Currently working on AI infrastructure for companies. It's a private AI solution where customers can build virtualized GPUs and build solutions on their data center for inference and training requirements.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean the space is evolving so rapidly, and there's so much happening. So from your vantage point, right, like what's the big picture and how you think AI is shaping out today?
AI, I would say, is disrupting and like huge innovation happening in the AI space currently. Uh, I'm particularly like fascinated by the innovations happening in agentic AI and physical AI. Like, they are in parallel happening and leading the world. We are very early on in both of the streams of innovation. Agentic AI is starting up, agents are building up, and the way the autonomous nature of the agents and the goal orientation and execution of human like agency on agentic AI is fascinating. And like we're just starting up in that journey, and I'm sure it will disrupt a lot. And similarly on the physical AI, where the system is not just in the cloud but on the edge, working closer to the physical world, understanding the dynamics of the physical world, and working in tandem with the cloud and a physical simulation with a digital twin, coming up together and solving human-like problems with humanoids, robots, right, autonomous vehicles, and things like that. It's huge. It will be totally different from 5 to 10 years now.
Yeah, the outlook for that journey looks really promising, really exciting. I completely agree with you. So, you've also written a book, Sandeep. It's called AI Engineering Leadership. And what caught my attention is that in the subtitle of the book, you talk about orchestrating business value, technology, and people to drive impactful AI results. So, I was just curious, why are those three elements so crucial for an AI leader?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. Just have a copy with me. So it is AI Engineering Leadership is a book. I've released this a couple of weeks ago in Amazon. Glad to see that it is trending in Amazon new releases. It is anywhere between number 1 to 10 in top new releases in engineering, development, testing, and the space of AI. So yeah, glad I've worked like almost a year on that idea, primarily because of I completed last year. I marked a completion of 10 years as an engineering in various engineering leadership positions, and I thought like I should put all my thoughts and journey into a book that is sustainable, like that is something that is consumable based on foundational principles of a journey of an engineering leader. Like overall in my journey of 20 years of experience and working through various products and sustainability and everything as an engineering leader, I felt like there are four aspects into becoming an efficient leader. Those are the fundamental traits that one should build on. They are focusing on business value, people, the technology, and execution in achieving results. So these are the four aspects. So the book is based on those traits, and engineering leadership is about balancing those traits and delivering results. The technology space may change, but the foundational principles are same. How do you build a result-oriented system and execute is very important. So yeah, that's the basis for the book, and discussed and in depth about like how to achieve them, right? How to balance them, and what is a framework that one can think of in balancing that to simplify and lead the world in the modern technological evolution.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's. I feel like that's such an insightful framework that you're talking about, and yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading that book, Sandeep. So one of the things that I hear a lot and see a lot about, now that AI is such a hype in the industry, I feel like a lot of teams feel the pressure to do something with AI, right? From a business leader's standpoint, if you're a technology leader in one of these companies, how do you balance these forces between, the need to do something in AI with business goals and then the customer needs as well? How do you think about that as a leader within an organization?
We are definitely beyond the hype, and we are at a stage it is practical and real. It is a no-brainer that we need to embrace AI, and it is not. That is something that I observe. It is not one team's responsibility or a single division's responsibility of building AI into the solution of an organization. It is a responsibility for everyone that come in. What can help in this path is a right AI strategy. Knowing what the current adoption level of an organization is, and where a company can benefit value from, right? What is the business value in leveraging the AI is very important. So identify the level where we stand and build a nice framework of execution to achieve the strategy that you are looking for, right? There are multiple frameworks, efficient ones in building and strategizing AI. Pick the strategy that best fits for the company and start execution.
But then, like developing in AI, right? Like what I've realized even as we building products in AI is that it comes with a unique set of challenges, given its probabilistic nature, right? It's quite different from developing traditional software products. So, what are some of those challenges that you see when putting together a product that is AI driven?
Yeah, definitely. As you mentioned, things are totally different with the AI in picture. It is not a deterministic solution anymore. It is probabilistic. Things change based on various dynamics that are in the space. So I would say, like as a engineering leader or someone critical in the space, we always have to face a lot of trade-offs, right? What is the best cost versus performance, or how do we focus on execution versus like quality, like how do we, and like have a lot of things to balance out and trade off. The thing that I would say is, have a system which is focused on set up a good system with feedback loops at various stages in either development, design, or delivery of a solution with metrics. Get the right metrics, whether you are building an AI or building with AI or delivering a holistic AI solution. The metrics and data driven solution is still very important, right? What is the value we are getting with the integration, and how do we take it forward is at its fundamental very important to build on, right? That can what that is what can keep us going as we lead into the AI space.
I think that AI innovation also comes with big responsibilities, right? So, as a leader, how do you encourage this within your team to, innovate with responsibility in AI?
Yeah, very, very good topic. Yeah, you touch on the core, right? As we build into the world, like we are creating something unique here. We are creating human-like intelligence. It can have vastly disruptive behaviors. So the way we should think is like, how do we stay grounded, ethical, and sustainable is very important. There are principles of regulatory compliance that governments impose. governments impose on when a solution is built, when we take it to market. Each and every country is different, and they operate with certain constraints by enforcing some compliance rules, which is the solution has to be abide by. But the way I would approach is thinking about responsible AI and building ethics into the thinking, and being aware of like what is a responsible AI is very important, and that should drive to regulatory compliance than thinking of regulatory compliance as a checklist and just barely meet the regulatory compliance criteria. Take responsible AI into your development, be responsible as a global citizen, and build solution abiding by that, and like you'll meet the regulatory compliance and also be sustainable, right? That's how I feel teams should approach.
Got it. But also in the the work environment, we also driven by this force to like build fast, ship fast, right? And it can get tricky to balance speed and caution, right? So what's your process in trying to balance those concerns?
Yeah. It's always trade-offs, right? Trade-offs is what we work with. Yeah, it's not a easy task, and there is no silver bullet there. I would say like innovation at its core is important. That will keep us going forever, but at the same time quality and execution and operational efficiency are and a stable product is what customers buy. It is not a fancy innovation that customers buy, but a stable reliable innovation is what customers are looking for. So how do we balance is important. I think the best approach for that is iterative development, at its foundation level. Ensure you're iterative and take the modern approaches of progressive delivery techniques of delivering the solution, and see what works, what doesn't work, and how do you balance it out, than trying to stay totally. So build the system where it is so robustness, quality, like an efficient operational efficiency is very important when we take the solution to customers. So base your design and processes structured around that, and bet on innovation where possible, and give an iterative delivery to customers that can help you quickly experiment, get feedback, and base your decisions on that, on the feedback. Yeah.
Got it. How important do you think it is for the leader of an AI team to be technical versus being focused on more vision, strategy, and
Yes. So, like based on my experience and theory, right? I feel as an engineering leader, one needs to be hands-on. That is definitely very important. It might vary based on the scale at which they operate. For example, is an engineering manager owning a team of say 4 or 5 members versus like 20 30 members or more, right? A 100 member organization, and things might be different, but at least if it is 8 is sort of a magic number that I know from my experience, that if it is less than 8 members that you're managing, definitely be hands-on, contribute to code, and make sure you are staying as close as to the code as possible, and have the commits. After team size grows, and if it is more than 8, it may not be one team that you're managing, it might be multiple teams. So it is not possible to do the level of contribution as you're doing as a team grows, because the value as an engineering leader is more on like giving a engineering vision to the team, executing on the vision, and delivering results, right? So in that aspect, I would say stay at least close to code, or to where you can make design contributions, at least on one aspect of the module, where others can be slightly abstract at a higher level. You can operate at a higher level on other aspects, but stay closer at least on one area where you can code and be hands-on. So hands-on
awesome.
is very important. And design is a place where I would say engineering leaders should be, right? Design may not be designing themselves based on the size of the team, but review of a design, right? Understanding the trade-offs, having a right judgment of what is it that is important as a design, and how do you take it forward long term, like in the long run, what is important, and strategizing that team for that is very important, and that is where one should definitely be.
Awesome. So, what does this high performing team, AI team, look like? Like, what skills are becoming very important on these teams? What are you looking for while hiring?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Again, like either we are building with AI versus building AI. So that's what I see. You know, building with AI is like you have a solution, existing product, or an integration where one is building with AI, where they are using either like an IDE integration of AI, or like doing a vibe coding, or whatever may be the level of integration where they are consuming AI models, or like for summarizing or various aspects of that's where a building with AI comes in versus a building of AI where you're developing AI infrastructure, or building models, or building AI agents, and things like that. So skills vary for different roles and different one is building. I would say stay focused on people who are first principle thinkers. Foundations are very important. Skills may vary, right? But see at each of the skill of each of the area that I mentioned, see what are those foundational elements that build the solution, how the thinking of process of that members is based on those foundational principles, and how like based deriving thinking based on first principles, and staying grounded on the foundations is very important, and that is how I consider hiring members into the team.
Yeah, that's a great insight. Problem solving skills are so important, and those skills are widely transferable regardless of the underlying technology and the programming language and whatnot. But while we're on this topic, right, and you mentioned build with AI, right? Do you find that AI is, taking away jobs, or is it reducing the need for, incremental headcount?
Yeah, it's that's the raging debate now. Like, where is AI coming after? Right? Whose jobs is AI coming after? Right? So, like, I think if we see fundamentally, I know there is a debate about like previous innovations have been coming after laborious things that we don't want to do. So we can focus on building innovative things, right? We can offload something, mechanized things, server computing or whatever, like routine tasks and things are offloaded into the technology while we focused on design, innovation, and things like that. As we stand right now, we are extremely productive with AI. So that is for sure happening. What that means is we don't need as bigger of a team as before to build something new. So it is definitely coming after, but the adoption and the disruption that is causing in various aspects, various industries is huge. So the pie is getting bigger. So it is not that, yes, it is solving some of the problems that we were solving as engineers, but because the scope is huge, the problems that we are going to solve are huge. Yeah, I think like staying with AI, understanding, leveraging AI, building with AI will help us be super productive. In short run, we might see jobs decreasing, but we have a bigger role to play. There is a lot of things to do, a lot of problems to solve in the world, and AI will help us take there and solve those problems. I'm definitely optimistic of AI helping us pave the way than hurting us.
Oh, yeah, well said. I'm an AI optimist as well in that sense. So you emphasized learning, right, as being one of the uh, vital things for AI teams. And while we are like so new in this, journey, and there's a huge learning curve ahead of most of us, how do you inculcate a culture of continuous learning within your team, especially when they have to like, get onboarded with a new technology or a new domain like
Yeah.
AI?
Yeah. Continuous learning is important with ever changing world of new things every day. There are few aspects that I focus on. Think in terms of continuous learning. One is ensure curiosity, either individual or at a team level. How are we as curious? That is what currently differentiates us as humans, and asking the right questions, right? Thinking deeper on being innovative, right? So yeah, curiosity, and how do we take curiousness and build into a mastery of what we do, right? And staying innovative and building a culture of curiosity, innovation, and mastery is very important traits that I see, which can help us stay the journey of continuous learning.
Do you think that drive should come from the individual, or is there something that a leader can do to sort of inculcate it within the team members?
Yeah, what I believe in is that is where a responsibility of leadership comes in. What is encouraged and what is rewarded and what is led to is what is seen in the team. Right? That's where a leadership role comes in. If you are encouraging behaviors of curiosity, behavior of innovation, that and with right rewarding and right motivation to the team, that's where I see the team is headed to. The team wants to be curious, wants to be innovative. So that is a responsibility of an engineering leader, or any leader in that sense. Building a team, build the cultural aspects in the team, and I'm sure the team will love to be innovative, love to be curious and contribute, and be the dream of greater good.
Yeah, so aligning incentives is so important, and I think that is one of the biggest responsibilities of a good leader. I've been fortunate to have a lot of leaders during my career, and that has definitely been one of the standout traits among all of them. But let's go a little futuristic, right? Let's look ahead, and I'm just curious, what are the AI technologies or trends that you're most excited about?
I think like right now, disruptions of agentic and physical AI are huge, and they're paving, and we'll see a different world. What I am like as a thinking about future and seeing that way, I believe like what is happening, and the innovations I see in quantum computing is really huge. We have been with the microprocessor technology for like 50 plus years now, right? We have been leveraging that technology, and we are doing is more scale, right? How do we faster, efficient, and things like that, right? Quantum computing and quantum AI is where I see it is going to totally disrupt the world and challenge, and get us out of just this boolean bits and get into the way the practical world is made up of, and the quantum science and the principles around it. That is where there will be an explosive evolution in computing. And that is what will take us into the future world of AGI, where there is general intelligence and super intelligence. And like, it is at least 5 to 10 years ahead of us, but I think I'm very optimistic on that, and see how that's going to shape the world.
Awesome. So, finally, is there any lesson or mantra from your own experience that you wish you had known earlier in your AI journey?
Staying grounded and deeper in terms of what is fundamentally different is very important. I would say the four traits that I've mentioned, right? Focusing on business value, people, technology, and execution are very important. And that's the mantra I believe in. Think holistically, balance out, orchestrate various aspects of this, and lead in the world of AI.
Awesome. Well, Sandeep, thank you for your time. This was a really insightful conversation, and I had a lot of fun.
Thank you, Arvind.